It's Week 5 of the National Football League, where London will play host to a different kind of football. It's the Giants and the Packers, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the New York Giants and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
First quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Here come the Giants, led out by their former 6th overall pick out of Duke back in 2019. Daniel Jones under center.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. Throwing Jones. And his throw here's incomplete. So this matchup, the second of 3 games in London this year. Vikings and Saints were here last week. And then the Broncos and Jags, they'll be at Wembley at the end of the month. Plus, now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Okay, Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
And here comes the winner of the last 2 NFL MVP awards, Aaron Rodgers, as he brings his Packers out for their first series of the game.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys that had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And the Giants ready to come out now. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Now Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Let's take it inside his own 40. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. To throw, it's Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Throwing is Rodgers. And it's caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. 2nd down and goal. Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far. Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Second down, here's Barkley again. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Operating from the gun, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves.
Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. Got a man, that's Lazard. Touchdown, Packers.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. To throw on 2nd and 10. Jones, open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Jones now on 1st down. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. To try again after the sack, Jones. Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. And they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
So we've come to halftime. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
On 2nd down at 4, Rodgers. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And that one didn't accomplish a whole lot. It'll be down inside the 35-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll run it again with Barkley. And this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So Jones off, Graham Gano on here for the New York Giants field goal. And he hits the up one, but it caroms in anyway. With plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Rodgers on target there to Lazard. Touchdown, Packers! Allen Lazard, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And Charles, we haven't even hit the 4th quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. but how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Welcome back now here in London. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. He's got the tight end, Vanette. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Giants go on fourth but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. When you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already...
wide open, complete. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Allen Lazard and the rest of the Packers back out for another drive. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now, they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know when a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one is over a long time ago.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal. Rodgers looking to throw and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The New York set to take the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete to Slayton. And some room to work down the right sideline. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he's got it. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Rodgers throwing here. Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on a crossing route. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Now, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Packers, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town.
Peace.